Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a little bit since I've done a vlog or have shared an update on the channel, and I thought today might be a good day. It's a very hectic day for us, and that's kind of how it's been these past few weeks. So I figure I'd take you along today and just kind of share what's been going on, what we've been doing, the setbacks that we've had, and just kind of what life has been like lately. Today is Saturday, and Saturdays are usually our really busy days because my 9-year-old Araceli and my son Achilles, who's 11, are doing basketball. It's basketball season for them. And my daughter has already done it once and she loved it. And my son, who's never really had an interest in basketball, decided that he wanted to do it this year and he's loved it. So our Saturdays are mainly us going to basketball games. However, today we also have a birthday party to attend to, which I have not been able to go and get anything for. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Nelson, as you saw, was at the dumpster in front of our house. He's cleaning up a lot of stuff, and he is not a happy camper right now because he has had to deal with some just big upsets these past couple of weeks in regards to our house schedule. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Don't worry about the car seat. It swivels and there's no baby in there. So she's at home with the kids. So right now I'm in front of the house. I'm on the driveway. I am heading out. It is a very gloomy day. It's been nonstop rain for about a week. The only break we've had was yesterday. And then we were back at it again overnight with rain, and it's just not very pretty. So I'm going to head out, get this taken care of as quickly as possible, and come back because we need to head to the basketball games and just basically, have our day get started. All right, so I'm over here at our local Family Dollar Tree combo. The birthday party we're going to be attending to, it's these two sweet little girls. We've known them ever since we moved here. They're basically like family to us. They're one of the families that have really welcomed us to the area, and we've become friends since the very beginning. And these two girls, they always celebrate their birthdays together because their birthdays are so close together. So this year, what they've asked for their birthday is for us to bring in items to donate for the local food bank. And one of the ideas was a cake box or birthday cake package. And what I got out of it was that basically it's like a little gift package that you do with all of the essentials to make birthday cake for anyone who is in need of, celebrating a birthday for one, but doesn't have the means to do so. And I thought that was such a cute idea. And I was like, man, that's actually really sweet. So I'm going to hopefully get all of the items that we need from here. They're usually pretty stocked up and they have a lot of really nice stuff. So that's why I'm here at this store to gather all of the things for these little birthday box packages and hopefully give you guys an idea because I've never done this before. And again, I just thought it was a really sweet thing for these girls to do. That's what they want to do for their birthday. So let's go in and see what we can find and what we can put together. so far I've got the cake mixes, the sprinkles for frosting, the candles, the cake pans, and the spatula and the little whisk, which I thought was really cute. Obviously, I can't buy any like non-perishables like the eggs and stuff, but um, now I want to see what I can put all this stuff in, and I did see some Easter baskets over there, and I'm gonna see if there's any that are like not like too Eastery, and see if I can put like kind of these inside and display them. And I'm trying to see if there's like some cellophane or something that maybe I can kind of like wrap them up in and just kind of make a basket with like a cute little bow. So let's see what I can find. All right, so in each of these baskets, I have the little cake pan, the spatula, the oven mitts, the little whisk, the birthday card, the frosting, sprinkles, cake, candles, and then I decided to do one more for maybe like a little boy, in case there's a little boy that needs a happy birthday little box, and then one for a girl, which I did that. I'm just gonna tie these up really quick and put a bow on them, and then we're done. All right, so it's the next day now. As you can see, I am inside of our house. After the last basketball game, which was my son's, we all headed over to one of our friends' house, which was actually related to the girls who were having the birthday party. We had left our two daughters with them, and then they were already over there, and then they were just kind of waiting for us to get done with our son's game. We stopped by the cottage to pick up my baby's pajamas and a bottle for her and just a couple of things, even some cookies that I had just done like 2 nights before. They were still good. I had picked them up for dessert because they actually had like taco soup over there, and we were all just going to have some. So I wanted to make sure I brought some dessert, and everything went. All the cookies were gone, which was great. So they were a success. And they were the ones that I had shared a couple days ago on my Instagram. They were like the crumble dupe cookies. The kids wanted or they were talking about the crumble cookies, and they liked the chocolate chip ones, which were probably the only ones that I think were, pretty decent. We've had a few of them, and I'm not that impressed with those cookies, especially for the price. So I thought, I'd try some dupe recipe and, put my own spin on it kind of thing. And it ended up working out. So we ended up staying there pretty late. We came back. We were completely exhausted. And then we went to bed. And then we woke up late this morning. We had a late breakfast. And Nelson has been out all morning, kind of cleaning up stuff around the property. Last night, the winds were really bad. There was a tornado watch or warning. I'm not sure which one it was, but it was the next town over, and it was much lower elevation from where we're at right now. So it was just, it's different climate when you're up on a mountain. So it didn't affect us, but it was definitely on our phones when we woke up this morning. We also had lost power because we had really crazy winds overnight. And yesterday, while it was gloomy and rainy and stuff, it was still like tolerable weather. It wasn't that cold. Today it's gloomy and windy, and I think right now it's like almost sleeting. And it says it's 30 outside, but it feels like 15 because of the wind. And the wind up here is pretty killer. So the weather has changed significantly, and I'm, layered up and trying to stay as warm as possible. The kids are in the cottage with the baby. She's taking a nap right now, and I decided to come over here to get some, last minute things knocked out with Nelson and probably sit down and do an update video because we do have to talk about the insulation, why we chose it, and all that stuff for our next farmhouse episode. So, all those things to be done today. And yeah, I think he just pulled up on the side by side. So I'm going to go check out, see if he's here. As you can see right here, the insulation is pretty much done. It's ready for drywall. Nelson has had a pretty tough couple of weeks because he's been fighting with the people who are supposed to be delivering our drywall, and they've kind of dropped the ball a couple times. So hopefully it will get done this week. But this is a significant thing for us because once the drywall is up, I mean, that's literally it. That means our walls are done, so we can do everything else that we need to do. And yeah, there he is. That's side by side. He's out there. We have that dumpster as well. And he's just been throwing away all the construction debris. The front porch was full of tons of bags from the insulation when it was installed. All the bags they came in, they all had to be thrown away, obviously. So he's been just kind of filling up that dumpster as much as he can with as much garbage because we do need it for the drywall as well because they do have like pieces that they need to cut down to size that they need to throw away. So that's what he's doing. And of course, that also came with a little bit of drama. So when they dropped the dumpster, our ground was so wet because it had been raining for over a week straight. The guy who was delivering the dumpster got stuck. I mean, like totally stuck in our ground on our property. He was not able to get it out, and luckily we had a friend that Nelson has actually used his business for gravel and stuff for several projects here on the property, and he happened to be driving by and he was able to get his machinery out of the back of his I guess flatbed, and he was able to help pull the guy out. Funny thing is I believe that the guy that was dropping off the dumpster was also related to the guy who helped him get out. So we were just very lucky that he was, coming up our road when it all happened. And I'll put some footage in so you can see how bad the guy was stuck. And luckily, crisis was averted and, he was able to get him out and we have our dumpster, but it didn't come without any consequences because our driveway was just completely wrecked after that. And just something else that you have to deal with whenever it comes, with construction. It's just kind of what happens. So, it's just been one thing after another. So, what Nelson and I like to do before the walls are completely covered up is we like to take pictures of the, I guess, insides of the walls, if you will, and we like to measure things out wherever there's pipes and stuff. So, this is actually something that I added after the fact. We decided to add another area for laundry in the garage, and this was something that was added, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And what I like to do is we like to get the measurements from like the walls or the ends of the walls. And we like to make sure we know exactly where these pipes are when the drywall goes up so that whenever we decide to do any work or anything else gets built around certain areas of the home, we have these to look back on and we can see, oh, well, and eventually we'll get this measurement, but let's just say 3 feet from the right corner, that's where the drain pipe is, or that's where the water, incoming water is on this stud. So we're kind of going through and we're doing this to all the walls here, making sure that we note where any pipes, any plumbing, anything inside the walls that's very important that we don't want to puncture, we make sure we get those measurements. And that's what we're doing right now. So Nelson is back and I wanted him on here to tell you guys about the drywall situation and how we're like, what, 2 weeks behind?
Yeah, minimum. So we placed the order for drywall, God, over a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and I had scheduled it for it to be delivered, and unfortunately, it started raining. The weather was bad, but there was a window of one Friday that it wasn't going to rain. And for whatever reason, the supplier shipping department was like, "Well, it looks like it may rain, so we're just going to reschedule you." You
And they
know,
did.
with little input from me, but I was like, maybe I could have forced the issue, but also, excuse me, also it's sheetrock, so you can't get it wet. So there's nothing. I mean, you can put plastic over it, but if it's raining, the humidity gets into it and it still messes it up. So um, you know, they just made a really strong case to not do it. And the day it was supposed to be delivered, it absolutely was sunny.
It didn't rain.
And Saturday, the day after, was even sunnier. So, unfortunately, it didn't happen. Sorry, I sound a little winded. I got a dumpster delivery, and that's another story there. But I've been just full, filling the dumpster with all the trash. But anyways, so we scheduled it for the following week for delivery, and the morning of delivery, I get a phone call at 6:30 in the morning that says, "We're not delivering your stuff." And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean you're not delivering my sheetrock?" They're like, "Well, we didn't realize it took several trucks to deliver your sheetrock." And I'm like, "Well, how did you not realize that? Like, you saw the quantity when I placed the order. Like, it wasn't going to fit on one truck." And the salesman also told me it would take like 4 to 6 trucks. So I was like, they were fully aware of what it took to deliver. And then, finally the manager came clean and was like, "Well, sorry, we just booked a lot more orders and we just decided to push yours back." And I'm like,
Yep.
I was like, "Okay, well, that's crap."
For some reason, it was ours that got pushed back.
Right. Like, I don't know. I guess they had other deliveries that are maybe closer in town. So the place we got it, I think it's about an hour and a half to get delivered up here. But still, like, it didn't, and they knew about it the day before. So, like, I could have scheduled the sheetrockers not to come. So now we have to pay for labor for them to come up because they were almost here on property. Um, we got a dumpster delivered because, any of the remnants and pieces from the sheetrock, we have to dispose of it because you can't just throw it on your front yard. And if it rains, it just turns into mush. It makes a huge mess versus if you throw it in a dumpster, even if it gets wet, it doesn't matter. It gets hauled off. So it turned into a big old
Ordeal.
thing. So hopefully we're gonna get it delivered the following Monday. But I mean, until the drivers call you and say they're on their way, I mean, we don't know. So
That's what Nelson's been dealing with for the past couple of weeks. So yeah. So the drywall should have been done by now. Unfortunately, it hasn't, but no fault of Nelson because he's been on it. It's just that the people who were supplying it dropped the ball twice.
and the
So
weather didn't cooperate. So it's kind of like it all came to a head. So it just
right,
uh,
it's been really
yeah.
ugly, and we want to make sure that when that drywall is delivered, that there is no rain and no issues with just really bad weather. And unfortunately, we've had that also. We've been kind of trying to navigate the weather. And now the weather is dropping, the temperatures, and it's getting really cold, and we're going to get another winter weather snap. So we'll see how that goes this week. But yeah, we're just trying to finish up some odds and ends and make sure that we've got everything taken care of on our end before the walls go up. So we're trying to, make the best of it and see the silver lining and say, okay, well, what is it that we need to make sure that it's taken care of before they do come? And that's what we're taking care of right now. So that's kind of what we're going to be working on for the next couple of hours. All right, so I'm back inside, and Nelson and I had a talk about a few things that we want to do and some things that we want to fix around the farm and stuff. We always get on those conversations, just kind of plan and envision what we're going to be doing in the future. I am making some kind of soup, maybe something new. I want to make sure that we are nice and warm tonight, and the weather is just going to get even colder this evening. So I want to make sure that I make something for our kids that can keep them nice and warm. And, soup always does that for me. So I'm gonna do something a little bit new and different for them, just experiment because I always like creating new recipes and modifying things and all that stuff. So I got some chicken out, and I am going to start getting the vegetables and start prepping a few things and start putting everything in a pot. And I think I'm going to accompany it with some plantains. My mom brought plantains up here last time she came up. She always brings me ripe ones and then green ones. And the green ones are perfect for frying and making like savory sides for, soups and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to make some tostones, is what they're called. And yeah, I'm just going to get started and hopefully, get dinner going. All right, so for dinner, I ended up creating this like lasagna pasta. I didn't have any lasagna noodles, so I just used what I had. But basically, it's just chicken, and I have like this seasoning that I use for anytime I make Italian a dish is what I use. And so I went ahead and seasoned my chicken. I added some diced onions and garlic, and I do have like broth, and I added milk and some ricotta cheese, mozzarella, and Parmesan, as well as like salt and pepper to taste and stuff. And so that's what we're gonna eat. And I have some tostones. These are ready to go. And we're just gonna have dinner now. All right, so it is the end of the day. The weekend is up. Tomorrow's Monday, and everybody's in bed. And unfortunately, the baby is not having it right now. She's in the background, which is why I'm in the bathroom right now, trying to sign off. So after dinner, I cleaned up. All the kids got bathed, and I ended up making these little donut holes that I used to make the kids all the time, and it's been a while since I made them, so I thought I'd give us a little treat and make those little donut holes. They're from scratch. They're very rustic, but the kids absolutely love them. And yeah, now I've cleaned the kitchen again, and then now I'm basically just going to take a shower and go to bed. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Hopefully tomorrow we'll hear back and see kind of what's going on with the drywall, what's going to happen this week, and then hopefully we won't have too terrible of a winter blast this week, but we'll see. It's looking like it's going to be down in the single digits. So I'm not sure if that's going to delay the drywall even more. But yeah, that's kind of where things are at. I hope to have another update for you guys very soon. I just wanted to bring you guys along and kind of share what our weekends have been like and what we've been up to, and why is it that we still haven't had much updates as far as the farmhouse. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, and I will see you back here very soon. Until then, adios.